Welcome to the second viewing, where we view it twice so you can listen once. My name's Dan.
I'm Kyle.
Shaka bra. Today on the cast, we've got our Off the Cuff series, new series. We're just kicking
things off. This is the first one. We briefly mentioned this in our update video, yada, yada, yada. What we're just going to do here is talk about a film we just saw for the first time. Now, this might be a movie we just saw in the theater or a movie that's been released a year, 2 years, 10 years ago that we're just seeing for the first time.
The idea is to have our just first impressions on anything, really.
Yeah. Just kind of talk about what we thought of the movie in general. We tried our best after this film not to, or at least I did, to not give all my thoughts out.
Yeah.
Because there's things to talk about.
It's tough when you're walking out of the theater, you want to talk about it. But without jumping too far ahead, we actually went and saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, that's the film we're doing. This is the brand new 2016 release. Directed by our boy David Yates, who's only really known for directing the Harry Potter movies, which of course is why he directed this movie, because this movie is a prequel / spin-off of Harry Potter.
And we talked about this a little bit when we left the theater, but I don't know, man. If I hadn't known that these two were connected before I went into the movie, I would be fucking confused.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree. We were saying, we've seen all the Harry Potter movies, but we're not huge fans. I generally like them. They're just pretty cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
If I hadn't seen all 8 of those movies, I'd be so lost.
Which is a lot of information.
And even then, lost.
And just before we started the cast, we were talking about how no matter what we say about this movie and how weird it is, someone's going to have an explanation. Well, just a disclaimer, it's probably because it was in a book or a very minute detail that average viewers generally are not going to pick up on.
Yeah, there's little things I understand that are interwoven into the rest of the universe and whatever.
Yeah.
From what I know, this is what I've been told, I guess, is that this is based off Pottermore lore, which is a website for Harry Potter, and there's short stories on there and games, and it's just kind of a community website sort of thing.
Right,
yeah. And then it's also based off a book in, I think, The Philosopher's Stone, the first Harry Potter movie book. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Where Harry's reading a textbook, and it's called Fantastic Beasts: Where to Find Them. Right. Where in this movie, our boy Newt Scamander has written this, textbook on these animals, these creatures.
Yeah, the story's about him sort of crafting it. Well, I guess the story's not really about that.
What is the story about?
I guess you could say the story's about Newt's travels to New York.
Right, he's from England or Britain.
Yeah, he's from England.
He's British.
Yeah.
And he. Okay, this is where things get blurry for me. Right off the bat, I want to say
he shows up and within an instant now he's sort of fallen into this storyline to which he seems loosely interested in. I mean, he's kind of just scraping the bottom of his morals, really. What I
didn't really get though is the American magic world,
is different than all the other magic societies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna come out and say it. My number one problem with this movie is that. Okay, well, first off, we're gonna be comparing this to the Harry Potter movies, just because you kind of have to.
Yeah, we kind of have to a little bit.
In Harry Potter, everything feels like a world. It's Hogwarts is where most of the things take place. You feel this is the setting. Even in the first movie, you don't understand everything, but as time progresses, you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Even through just the first film. And this one, it's world inside of America, inside of a familiar setting to us already, sort of.
Yeah, but it's also, yes. That's a good point, but I think it floats, he's the world, the main guy, Newt, is the world.
But, he is, and that's the most enjoying. That's my favorite part of the movie is when they go into his suitcase holding all these creatures, and you see this whole world that is magical and wizard filled, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it's that just reminded me of the Harry Potter movies were just that, and that's why they're entertaining.
Yeah.
And this one, it's there's elements of that, and I guess I see they're trying to clash of cultures, and they're bringing these ideals into another world, and that's why the plot is there.
Yeah.
But it's not really interesting to me as a viewer, I think, more or less. Mm-hmm. That to be said, I don't hate this movie. I'm going to shit on it a little bit. I thought it was just good in general. It didn't blow me away, though. I did fall asleep for about 5-10 minutes.
I thought it was charming. In some, I liked seeing the beasts. I thought they were creative. I thought
You
they
liked
were
Eddie
pretty,
Redmayne too, by
they
the
were
way.
well done. I did actually.
Yeah,
I did. I thought he was kind of, I don't know, quirky. I wasn't annoyed by him, and I also wasn't super analyzing his performance, to be honest. Like I wasn't.
I right off the bat hated him as soon as he came on screen. I was actually gonna like turn to you and say like I fucking hate this guy, but then I thought to myself, okay, it's the first 5 minutes. I'll give it some time. I hated him the rest of the time. He's like he plays this. Sorry, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but Eddie Redmayne plays Newt Scamander, the main character of this film, and the writer of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them textbook. His character though is just like the shy, sullen, kind of like quiet, kind of I don't know. To me, he's pandering to like a female audience. That's what I was feeling. It was like girls are gonna find him cute. Let's make him cute the whole time. That's how I felt.
Really?
Yeah, it's like he never really he smiled once or twice. He's always just like kind of like. Oh, I don't know. I'm just Newt Scamander. Don't bother me. I'm Newt Scamander.
I thought he was kind of quirky. I thought he was
kind of quirky.
Well, okay,
that's his only characteristic is quirky.
All right. Okay, so what I'm saying is he seemed just very. I just assumed his character and the character that he plays was just lost in the world of beasts and was kind of uninterested with almost everything else around him. So he had this sort of like half interested, but maybe that's just. What's this actor's name? I can't remember.
Eddie Redmayne. No.
Maybe that's just Eddie's acting style. I don't really know.
He's known for kind of like taking on different roles, like really different roles. But he always overacts, in my opinion. Like tries really hard. Danish Girl tried so hard. Borderline offensive film, in my opinion. Jupiter Ascending. Holy shit! Just please watch Jupiter Ascending just to see Eddie Redmayne as a villain. What was the one with he played Stephen Hawking? I can't remember the title right now. It's same thing. That was probably his best performance, to be fair. It was a transformative performance. That's why he won the Oscar. That's a whole other discussion. Anyways, but he's fine. He's a good actor. He's trained. He's classically trained. Yeah, it's fine. But in this movie, and honestly, other movies personally pisses me off. But it was just one note. To me, it was just one note, and he was the same the whole time. I seriously was like gonna like come up to you and be like, dude, this guy fucking sucks.
All right, you could almost make the argument that they're trying to make him very consistent, so that every time you see him on screen, you kind of go, oh, this guy, he's gonna carry us through the movie.
Yeah, I think
we like this guy. Like this guy. Works. This guy is the Harry Potter world.
That works if we like found out more about him. We don't really know much about him, and then like the one time they try to like give like heartfelt dialogue about like a girl he used to know, it's so like out of nowhere. It felt like it's like, oh, what's this girl? Oh, who is she? Oh, are you?
Yeah.
That like proved my point of like the cute like girl thing, where she's like, oh, you feel so hurt. You must have so much sadness inside of you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, geez, I feel so bad for you. I just want to fuck you right now. That's how I felt. Like I don't know. It was phoned in for me, but I will mention that I really did like the female lead in this movie, Tina. I really like Tina.
She reminded me of, what's that movie? We did a fucking...
Emily.
Yes, Emily.
I thought that too.
She looked almost...
She looked like Emily. She had like the stereotypical Emily. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
But no, I thought she was good. She was my favorite part of the movie because she actually had character development. It was like, you saw her like progress, and you saw her, again, fall for Eddie Redmayne, which I assume every fucking character in this series will. But whatever, that's, fair enough. I understand that Harry Potter wasn't like the hottest guy, and he didn't really get all the ladies. So that's kind of why I liked him a little bit in those movies. He was kind of he was a nerd straight up, and he didn't like grow up to be like a super like what's the word, like traditionally
he wasn't the babe
attractive guy. Yeah, he wasn't a babe. Anyways, that's besides the point. But no, I really liked Tina. I thought she I don't know, she was the most likable, and I felt like she was more connected to the plot almost of what was happening than Newt, because like we were talking,
he was spaced off. He didn't really. He seemed half interested in everything. But I think my favorite character overall was the comic relief.
The comic relief.
Yeah, Jacob,
played by Dan Fogler. I'm just gonna look really up what else this guy's in.
Guy was quirky. He was funny. He did
wasn't Fanboys.
Or he was.
Yeah.
He did a good job of lightening the mood, I thought.
Yeah, no, I generally liked him too.
And I liked how he's at the end of the movie. It's like he's not going away. He's still connected to the world.
Yeah.
Some
do you
way.
think he still remembered everything, or what do you think?
I think slowly but surely he's piecing things together. So I think that chick that he kind of fell for in the magic world, the sister of Tina. I think she must have like did something so that
Yeah.
he could remember.
I
there's
hope
a
that's the
chance.
case. What I don't hope is that he secretly was magical the whole time. That would be lame.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It would be lame if he actually became like super main part of the movie. It would be kind of cool if he got like a really lame fucking power, or he could like close doors with his wand.
My
You know
hope
what
for
I mean?
him is like if he like starts remembering things or whatever happens, I don't know with that, and then he goes to school and he starts learning things from everyone, and then he kind of catches along and he grows and kind of does his own thing.
Yeah, that could be cool
I would
too.
like that. I wouldn't like it if it's just like out of nowhere. Oh well, he has a secret power the whole time. He was magical. It's like,
Right.
What are the
Yeah.
chances of that? Like, it's just kind of phoned
that
in.
would feel, because I think he's your biggest connection to the magic world, because he's non-magical.
He's
So-
kind of like the viewer's character. It's kind of like you're learning everything for the first time.
Yeah.
in a
So
way.
it would be cool. You're right. If he learned on his own, because little kids can go out and fantasize. Right. Maybe I can learn magic too. Yeah.
And like it's interesting. I don't know. You think this movie's for kids? I think this movie's more for like people who are nostalgic about Harry Potter. That's really what I think it is.
Well, okay, yes, I'm with you there, but I think both. I think it's too whimsical not to be for kids a little bit, or at least for them to recognize that a good portion of their audience is gonna
right?
be kids.
Yeah. No, I agree with that too. But it didn't feel like I don't know. Like the first couple Harry Potter films were very like still whimsical, but they felt like kids movies in a way. The last couple were dark and like kind of dreary and had these darker elements. It
Yeah.
felt more like that. And in Harry Potter that worked for me because it was like you were probably literally like 8 or 9 when you saw the first one, and by the time you saw the last one, you were like,
Right.
you're 17 something,
For our generation,
and you grew. You felt like you wanted a more mature film.
It's funny you bring that up, because I remember going to the Harry Potter movies as a kid, and my parents going, "Oh, I gotta see that kid wizard movie." And then after a few years, the other movies came out, and they'd be like, "Oh, the new Harry Potter's out. We should see that."
Well, they got progressively better, I think, those movies.
Yeah, well, and changed too. I guess it's kind of a coming of age story, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
coming
Like,
into wizardry, really.
have you ever seen Boyhood?
Yes.
There's a great scene in Boyhood where they go to a Harry Potter movie premiere.
Oh, really? I don't remember that part.
And it's like it's a pretty short scene. It's just kind of like they dress up as like Hermione and Harry, and they go to the movie premiere. And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, for our generation or the typical age that me and Dan happen to be, it's like that's just perfect. It's very you can connect with that, I mean, we weren't super fans going to these premieres, dressing up and whatever, personally, but we knew friends who did, and
it was a cool experience
it was
nonetheless.
cool.
Yeah. So
Anyways.
yeah, I could see how this movie could blossom into something more, and I think that's kind of the last point we should talk about. Here.
That's kind of my end note. It's like this movie was just all right. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was all right. Potentially mediocre. I would say mediocre.
You could make the argument though that the studio wanted it to be a little bit kind of poking around, like not taking any daredevilish steps, kind of
Right. They didn't
playing
wanna,
it. They
like-
played it
they played it
safe
safe,
a little
yeah,
bit so that they could continue, or that they could attract an audience of sorts.
Like they want
towards
people
the
to come
movie.
back basically for
Yeah.
the next one. That makes sense. No, I think and there must be a hint of that. There has to be.
Oh, totally. Every Harry Potter fan ever is going to see these movies, and
Yeah.
we'll probably see them too.
We'll watch the rest. I mean, the thing for me is more or less, I always like a movie to kind of like stand on its own. I don't want to have to think the next one's going to be better. The next one's going to be better.
I agree, but people are suckers for it. It's like playing fucking Diablo 3 where you're just after the next loot. Like, where's the loot?
You're just
Where's
trying
the
to get.
loot? So
I
where's
don't
the
know,
loot?
and like
Where's the
I
loot?
get that. That's kind of a marketing, and there's obviously Hollywood only cares about money. That's again another discussion, but I don't know. So that's kind of why I can't say I hate it, but at the same time, did I love it? No.
Yes, it's not going to be my favorite movie. I don't think there is. I have any favorite movies that are of a series really, or maybe Oceans potentially.
Right.
But-
yeah. I mean, there's some good movies that have good sequels, and
But
hell,
yeah,
Harry
you're-
Potter's a good example, to be honest.
Yeah.
Most of those sequels are pretty damn good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think eventually this could be cool. I'm gonna say that I like in conclusion, I liked the Beasts. I personally didn't think the main character was that bad.
I wanted to stab him the whole time.
And I liked the comic relief.
Yeah, comic relief.
Other than that, the story didn't do a whole shitload for me.
Yeah, I think another thing is we were talking about just how like the movie kind of couldn't pick between whether they want to cover on the beasts or the magic.
Yes, they played too much of the magic side, I
I
think.
think the Beast was far more interesting and far more imaginative and original and just cool, really.
Yeah, and I think the idea of some beasts getting lost in Manhattan is cool. That's a neat idea.
That's fun. I mean, when they're chasing around these beasts in like a zoo, like that was fun. That reminded me of like a well-made fantasy film.
Yeah,
That-
that was cool. The whole fucking other part of the movie that was like
Oh, shit, we have to bring up-
diplomatic and oh yeah, we have to bring up fucking Colin Farrell.
This is This is single-handedly the worst and best part of the movie, probably. I'd say.
Colin Farrell after I don't know. I
There's
guess
too much background to go. Like,
there's a lot of background. Yeah, so basically he ends up being against the Magic Association and he plans on leaving, and then the president says, "No, we're going to bring you in, asshole."
yeah, like you've done wrong. You're going to jail, sort of thing.
And then he starts firing like magic missiles, and they start firing magic missiles. Next thing you know, fucking Newt catches him with a beast. And then he does a dispel, I guess you could call it. He like dispels the illusion that he looks like Colin Farrell, but really,
how did he know that also, by the way? How did he know to do that spell?
I don't know.
He just had a hunch.
I guess.
Okay, sorry, continue.
I guess you could make the argument that, remember when he's being interrogated, he talks about how he brings up the usefulness of this evil beast that they end up fighting.
He had questions about him, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Reservations about him.
so I think you could tell that the main character was kind of like had iffy feelings. So
Okay, fair
that'd
enough.
be the closest I'd come
But
to that.
that is very brief in the film.
The point we're trying to get at is the dispel. It's not fucking Colin Farrell. Turns out it's just Johnny Depp with a blonde wig, ma. Yeah, and
Fucking ridiculous.
and it happens to be fucking the character called Greenwald, which has been hinted at in the beginning of the movie. I think it was like on a newspaper that you briefly saw.
That was and I mean, looking back at it, I was briefly telling us in the bathroom awkwardly, where like the whatchamacallit, one of the opening scenes is the back of this Greenwald guy's face or head or whatever, and his blonde hair. Obviously, we know that's
Yes.
Johnny Depp now. And then like maybe not the next scene, but one of the scenes quickly after is the same shot, same framing, but it's back of Colin Farrell's head, and
Right.
it opens up with how the movie begins, kind of.
But there, at that point, it's kind of
So
like
it's a bit
you
of
leap
a-
right into the movie, and it's kind of like,
You don't think about that ever again.
yeah, it's like jumping on a treadmill that's already moving fast. It's like,
But we don't even really know much about this Greenwald guy. Like, that's the
We-
thing. That
we-
whole magic thing threw me off because, like, I
Yeah,
was
see?
confused.
to me, this is a movie about beasts. Why the fuck do we have this? Like, so the problem is Greenwald's this big evil guy who wants to go against the secrecy of the Magic Association and wants to reveal it to the Muggles, and he wants to have a fucking big old battle to see whoever's left is left,
I
and
kind of
that'll create
agreed
a
with
better.
him the whole time.
I
thought
kind
he
of
was gonna
agreed
be
with
the good guy for a second.
I kind of thought like, well, that seems like a more fun fucking movie than
Yeah.
this politics here.
Right.
Like, choose a direction.
Dude, they Civil War
It's
us
like,
again.
Yeah,
They put politics into the movie.
like fucking choose, make a choice. Is it going to be about catching the beasts, or is it going to be about the fucking magic society revealing themselves to the Muggles? Like, what fucking
And I mean,
is it going to
You
be?
can make the argument that they're all important and they all play into the overall story.
Yes,
That's
but not
fair.
in similar doses.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not space it out correctly to the point where I was just craving more of the beast stuff.
Yeah, all I wanted to see was the beasts.
Because that was cool. And I mean, even then, I don't know much about these beasts.
fucking almost nothing.
And it's like, I don't know. Again though, you could be like, oh well, maybe in the next one they'll explain it. Okay, fair enough. Maybe they will, but for this one they didn't. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
So as a standalone movie, mediocre. As part of a series, maybe good. And I think that's it for Off the Cuff.
Yeah.
I'm Dan.
I'm Kyle. Shout out to our boy Credence, best character of the movie.
Respect
We won't
to
talk
Credence.
too much about him, but look for him. Hilarious character. This has been Off the Cuff. Talk to you guys later.